Imagine the most expensive fighter jet ever built, $110 million of stealth technology, designed from the ground up to be invisible. Now, imagine it flying a combat mission over Iran, and something on the ground, something that was never supposed to be able to see it, reaches up and hits it. That is not a hypothetical. That happened on March 19, 2026. And what it reveals about the future of air warfare should worry everyone who assumed stealth meant untouchable. So here's what happened. A United States Air Force F-35A Lightning II was flying a combat mission over Iran as part of Operation Epic Fury when it was struck by what sources describe as Iranian fire. The jet made an emergency landing at an undisclosed American airbase in the Middle East. The pilot survived and is in stable condition. Within hours, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps released infrared footage claiming to show the moment the jet was targeted. Now, the Pentagon has not officially confirmed what hit the aircraft. The investigation is ongoing. But if this was enemy fire, and multiple sources say it was, then this is the first time in history that an F-35 has been struck in combat, and that single fact changes the conversation about everything we thought we knew about stealth. Let us talk about what the F-35 actually is. This is not just another fighter jet. The F-35 program is the most expensive weapon system in human history. $2 trillion over its lifetime. That is trillion with a T. Over 1,200 have been delivered worldwide. The entire design is built around one idea: do not get seen. The airframe scatters radar waves. The surface is coated in radar-absorbent materials. Every angle, every surface is engineered so that enemy radar sees something no bigger than a marble. For almost a decade, this aircraft has flown combat missions from Syria to the Red Sea without a single confirmed hit. That track record made it the backbone of Western air power. That track record is what just got challenged. Here's where it gets serious, and this is what John A.G. Reports is all about, putting the real context on these events so you understand what they mean. The F-35 stealth is built to defeat radar. Radar sends out radio waves. They bounce off the aircraft, and the return signal tells the operator where the jet is. The F-35 minimizes that signal. That is what stealth means. But here's the critical detail nobody is talking about. Iran has been developing surface-to-air missile systems that do not use radar at all. They use infrared and electro-optical sensors. They look for heat. They use thermal imaging to track a target. And you cannot make a jet engine invisible to a heat sensor. No matter how well you shape the airframe, the engine is still burning fuel at extreme temperatures. An infrared-guided missile doesn't care about your radar cross-section. It sees the heat and it follows it.
Iran has mobile air defense systems like the Khordad-15 that are mounted on trucks that can be driven anywhere, hidden in urban areas, tucked under highway overpasses, moved every few hours. These systems are effectively invisible to satellite surveillance because they are never in the same place twice. And some of them carry missiles with passive infrared seekers, meaning they do not emit any signal that the aircraft's warning systems can detect. A radar-guided missile announces itself. The jet's sensors pick up the radar lock, and the pilot gets an alert. An infrared missile gives no such warning. The pilot may not know it has been fired until it arrives. This is the part that genuinely changes the strategic equation. Defense analysts at the war zone warned from the very first day of this campaign that claims of air supremacy over Iran were dangerously premature. Iran's fixed air defenses, the big radar installations, the known missile sites, yes, many of those have been destroyed. But road mobile systems that can hide and relocate are a completely different problem. You cannot destroy what you cannot find. And Iran has had decades to develop exactly these kinds of asymmetric capabilities. The Houthi rebels in Yemen, using far more primitive versions of similar Iranian technology, forced American F-35s to take evasive maneuvers just last year. If improvised systems in Yemen can threaten the world's most advanced stealth fighter, what can the actual Iranian military do with the real versions? Now, let us put this in broader context, because this F-35 incident did not happen in isolation. In 21 days of Operation Epic Fury, the United States has lost or had damaged approximately 20 aircraft. 3 F-15Es to friendly fire on day 1, a KC-135 crash in Iraq that killed 6 airmen, 5 tankers damaged by Iranian missiles in Saudi Arabia, at least 12 Reaper drones lost, 13 Americans killed, roughly 200 wounded. And on the exact same day the F-35 was hit, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told reporters the United States was, in his words, winning decisively, and that Iran's air defenses had been flattened. The gap between that statement and the reality in the sky is something this channel exists to examine. Here is the bottom line. The F-35 is still an extraordinary machine. It remains the most capable multi-role fighter in the world. But this incident exposes a vulnerability that is not a flaw in the aircraft, it is a flaw in the assumption. The assumption that stealth equals invincibility. Stealth defeats radar. It was never designed to defeat heat. And adversaries around the world, not just Iran, but Russia and China, have been investing heavily in infrared and passive tracking systems precisely because radar-based stealth is the cornerstone of American air power. Bypass radar entirely, and you bypass the single biggest advantage the United States has in the sky. That is the deeper story here. Not one jet taking one hit. It is what that hit signals for the future of air combat. When a $110 million stealth fighter can be targeted by a mobile launcher hidden on a truck, the math of modern warfare starts to shift. And that shift is happening right now, in real time, over the skies of Iran. If this gave you a perspective you would not getting from other coverage, do us a favor. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and share this with someone who needs to understand what is actually happening. Drop a comment below. Do you think stealth technology is still the future, or has this war exposed its limits? We read every single comment on this channel. Share this video, and we will see you in the next one, right here on Navy Frontline.